Good morning, good morning, good morning. Man, so yesterday, I was watching a YouTuber, and he was just, his channel is about, taking teams that, over the years that was bad, and then over the years they either transform into super teams or they transform into their picks and their whatever regime transform into great talents that equal championships. And he did the Brooklyn Nets, right? And as I was watching, it struck me that the picks that that they had that they required from Boston, right? When KG and Paul Pierce went when KG and Paul Pierce went to the went from went went to no went from Brook no went from the Celtics to the Nets. I peeped out that those draft picks that those draft picks that the Celtics that the Celtics accumulated from the Nets turned out to be Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown. Now, can I, like I just want to say something and then after that, when they required, um, when they required Kyrie Irving, when they required Kyrie Irving from the Boston Celtics, you know what I'm saying? Because this all gonna tie it up. This is all going to tie up in one little knot. When Kyrie Irving went from the Cavaliers to the Boston Celtics, didn't like it there. He went from Boston to the Brooklyn Nets, right? So now, okay, that was a done deal, you know. Now they had KD obviously, but KD was out that season, and that's when Kyrie Irving just bailed on the team. He just bailed out. He just quit. You know what I'm saying? Like he knew that the only way for him to get out there was to injure himself. You know what I'm saying? Because the Nets was not really in contention of playing in the playoffs as well. Anyway, so he just said that you know what, I'll just wait until you know KD gets back. KD gets back. He's not at 100%. You know what I'm saying? So now they said, okay, we're gonna move the big guns. This offseason, we're gonna put all our chips on James Harden. They gave up 7 first round draft picks. So they gave up a 2022, a 2023, a 2024, 25, 26. And the only thing that the Brooklyn Nets got was James Harden and their 2024 draft pick. And that draft pick is not even born yet. 2024? We still in 2021. So I say this. Brooklyn Nets have done it again. Now, everybody and their grandmama wants the Brooklyn Nets to come out the East. They feel like, oh, we could just shoot our way out of a championship. We could just buy our way out of a championship. Y'all remember that? No, y'all can't. And this has nothing to do with them playing defense because I would vouch that they played pretty good on defense. Kyrie had some steals. James Harden had a few blocks. KD had a couple of rebounds. So if they can play like this consistently, which I don't think they can, because I think for them to have an off night, it's rarely happening. But if one of them were to have an off night, the other two can pick up the slack. You know, I don't see both of them having off nights. You just have to have a great supporting cast to stop them, and I don't think Boston has that. I mean, yeah, you could say Jaylen Brown is a missing piece, but Jaylen Brown is only one person. It's not like the Celtics got four Jaylen Browns; they only got one. So, whoever you stick him on, that's his responsibility to guard him. You know what I'm saying? Because Jaylen Brown is the Celtics' best defender outside of Smart, but Smart gets into too much foul troubles. Kemba Walker is not really a defender. Jason Tatum, I don't know. He's more of an offensive player than he is defensively, but he can get some blocks and steals here and there. I'm not saying that he can't play defense. He just chooses to play offensively. Uh, so yeah, but that's just a lot of draft picks, man. Like Jesus, 7 draft picks. So if those draft picks turn out to be stars, just like the Brooklyn Nets and the Celtics when they traded away Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce, those draft picks turned out to be Brown and Tyson Tatum. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying that with those draft picks, Houston is going to be better, but it's a start in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? You know, you have to have something to build up for the future because James Harden is no longer there no more. You know what I'm saying? So you have to groom and you have to find, you have to build up superstars through the draft. You know what I'm saying? That's how it works from the NFL to the NBA. You know what I'm saying? You build through the draft. You don't build through free agency. You know what I'm saying? Free agency is to, you know, get everybody around or select a few. I mean, like free agency to me is to build around what you already have, not to build through the draft. Not to build through free agency, but to build around what you have. You know what I'm saying? But the Brooklyn Nets failed to do so. Like they gave up Jared Allen. Why did they give up Jared Allen? It's an offensive driven league. Just like the NFL, nobody cares about defense in the NFL no more. It's an offensive driven league. So the NBA is trying to say, you know what? Or not the NBA, but the Brooklyn Nets is trying to say, you know what? We don't need defense. We don't need defense. Like if the big three can combine for 80 points, they combine for 80 points. I don't see that happening again. Um, and it's very hard to watch the Brooklyn Nets offensively. You know, like it's like I'm watching a pickup game in Rutgers Park. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody just move out the way and they both playing ISO. Like, is that a winning formula to any championship? Like nobody's getting involved except for them three, and it's sad to watch. Like it irks me. Now, a lot of people may not pick that out because obviously a lot of people don't have basketball IQ. But coming from a center standpoint, I mean, they switched me around. I was power. 1 minute I was power forward, the next minute I was strong. I was strong. I mean, I was small forward, and then my natural position was a center. But at first they just switched me around. So as a center standpoint, you need some type of offensively. You need some type of second chance points when it comes to defense. You know, like I'm pretty sure Tristan Thompson had like 5 or 6 or 7 offensive rebounds. You know, like the Nets, the Celtics was just keep getting second chance points, second chance points. Why? Because they have a big man that can get those 50-50 balls. You know, Brooklyn Nets don't have that. And I think that's one of their. I think that's one of their. I mean, not one of their. That is their Achilles heel. They have no defense, even though they show it from time to time. It's not consistent. You know what I'm saying? Like they too worried about scoring. Oh, we don't need defense. We could just outscore you. You know, as long as we combine for like 80 points. James Harden goes for 40. James Harden goes for another 40. Not James Harden. Kyrie goes for another 40. Kevin Durant goes for another 37. That's astronomical numbers right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's numbers that you can't even define or you can't even break down, you know? Because if they continue to play like this, where KD gets 20 plus, Kyrie gets 30 plus, James Harden gets 40 plus, it's going to be very hard to beat them, you know? But at the same time, their Achilles heel is defense. So as long as you can go big on them, they're going to have their troubles. They're going to have their troubles, you know? So I'm just flabbergasted on how many picks that the freaking Brooklyn Nets gave up for James Harden. So if they don't win a championship now, we don't know if Kyrie and James Kyrie and we don't know if Kyrie and Kevin Durant is gonna stay. You know what I'm saying? So you know, it is what it is. You know, they may not. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think they want to go through a long, grueling process again next year. You know what I'm saying? But I think this is their time, in my opinion, or in their fans' opinion. I think you know they know that the window is closing. You know what I'm saying? I think the only person that's probably gonna stay is James Harden because he's still on the contract. Blake Griffin signed a 1 year deal. He's a unrestricted free agent next year. Kevin Durant and 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 um and Kyrie both signed a 4 year deal, but they had to structure their deal. So they both signed 2 year deals plus, you know, a player's option, you know. So they can opt out if they feel like, okay, yeah, this is not it. You know what I'm saying? Like we gave it all, we gave it our all. Or they might come back next year, play together a little bit more, play about like 60 to 50 games. If they can do that, then they'll understand each other's, you know, rhythm, go to the playoffs, beat the team that they got beat by, you know, obviously, because I still believe that the Boston Celtics is going to win this series, no doubt about it. Beat the team that they got beat by last year, and, you know, the rest is going to be history, you know what I'm saying? But this year, it just seems too forced, you know? Uh, you know, like I said, I know a lot of people want to see, you know, the Lakers versus the Nets, but that's not going to happen, you know? That's not going to happen. Um, Now I do have the Bucks. I do have the Milwaukee Bucks taking on the Lakers. No, actually, I said the Clippers. I have the Clippers and the Bucks in the finals. That's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it is what it is. But, you know the NBA and the media, you know what I'm saying? Like we want to give the people what they want, you know what I'm saying? So if y'all want the Lakers and the Nets, God dong, you're gonna get the Lakers and the Nets. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. We'll see. I do think Brooklyn is gonna win tonight. Clippers is gonna win tonight, and the Suns are going to win tonight. The Lakers are done. The Lakers are done, and it's not even remotely LeBron James' fault, even though he did miss a lot of games. But the Lakers are done. The Clippers will bounce back. The Nuggets took care of business, and the I already talked on the I already talked on the Heat and the Bucks. Like the Milwaukee Bucks put a hammer down on the Heat, you know. And then Jimmy Butler saying that, oh well, yeah, we lose as a team, we win as a team, and like going home is not gonna fix anything. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't care. Like the Milwaukee Bucks at this point don't care. They could play on Pluto. They could play on Earth's on Mars. It doesn't really matter. Like we going to win. And this time, y'all had y'all 15 minutes of fame last year. This is our time, And obviously, last year has nothing to do with this year because whole different, player regime, whatever have you. I just think that the Bucks felt like they should have won that game last year, but it let it slip away. So this year they're taking it more personal. I wouldn't be shocked if the Bucks swept the Heat. I wouldn't. But anyways, man, like, comment, subscribe. Oh yeah, and the Knicks are going to obviously tie up this series. And, the rest is going to be history at that point. So like, comment, subscribe. Till next time, take care of yourself and each other.